Is sex really important in marriage? Like, let's be brutally honest. Ask a man or ask a husband what makes him feel loved, what makes him feel respected and deeply connected, and sex will likely be at the top of his list. But ask a woman or ask a wife, and sex might not even make her top five. Then I ask, why this disconnection? Why do many marriages struggle with intimacy, leaving husbands starved for connection while wives feel emotionally checked out? If we've ever wondered why intimacy fades after marriage, why some women resist sex while men crave it, or if withholding sex is truly harmless or destructive, then keep watching because we are exposing the hard truth no one talks about. One look, and I breathe. Let's get real for a second. Some women weaponize sex, using it as a tool for control, as a tool for punishment, or sometimes bargaining power. Now, in some part of the world where divorce laws heavily favor financial gains, withholding intimacy can become a strategy rather than a symptom of emotional disconnect. Other times, the reason is more personal. Some women struggle with past trauma that makes intimacy difficult. Some struggle with hormonal changes that lower their sex drive. And on another hand, emotional disconnects do happen, and these leave them feeling numb. It does happen. But here's the cold reality. If intimacy vanishes completely, the marriage is at risk. Because sex isn't just about pleasure, it's about connection. And when that connection breaks, the relationship starts to fall apart. This brings us to the dangerous game of weaponizing sex. Ladies, ask yourself this. If you knew you couldn't gain anything by withholding sex, will you still do it? I mean, it's just a simple question. Will you still do it? If the answer is yes, it's time to rethink your approach. The moment sex becomes a bargaining tool, it creates distance between you and your husband. It creates resentment that grows over time. It creates insecurity that makes him feel unwanted. Now, think about it. Why do you get married? Or why did you get married? Sex wasn't meant to be a reward for good behavior. It was supposed to be a natural part of love, intimacy, and commitment. If you no longer feel desire, don't avoid the issue. Just address it. What you can do instead, communicate. Communicate. Tell your husband if something feels wrong. Whether it's physical, whether it's emotional or mental, just communicate. Recognize marriage as a partnership. That's number 2. When you said I do, you committed to both the struggles and the victories. So if there are challenges, both of you should share that challenge and resolve it. Respect the commitment. If your husband is loving, if he's responsible and faithful, why should he have to beg for what should be given freely in the first place? What should be shared in the first place? You may want to drop a comment and let's talk about it if you believe honesty is key in marriage. Now, why is sex so important to men? A lot of women ask, why do men crave sex so much? Some even try to reshape their husbands into a version of masculinity that fits their comfort zone, assuming that their desires for sex is excessive or unimportant or just a man thing. But here's the reality. Sex isn't just about pleasure. It's about validation, love, and emotional connection. Secondly, a husband who feels sexually rejected will feel emotionally abandoned. Thirdly, a man who feels desire for his wife is more loving, protective, and present in the marriage. The moment you make vows, intimacy becomes a part of the deal, like the main deal. It is not a side part of marriage, it is a core pillar of a healthy relationship. And let's be fair, some women face real struggles. We know that. They face struggles with intimacy. They face hormonal imbalances that affect their sex drive. They face past experiences that make sex feel difficult. They face mental health and struggles that create distance or create disinterest in sex. The good news is there are solutions. There are genuine solutions, but if you are interested, you might have to type interested in the comments if you want to learn how to rekindle your desires and reconnect with your spouse. So let's move from the point of obligation to enjoyment. Let us break down the walls. Having sex just to tick the box isn't love. In fact, it's cruel. A husband knows when his wife is just going through the motions, and nothing kills intimacy faster than feeling like a burden. Nobody wants to feel like a burden to the other person, especially men. So don't fake it. Your husband can tell when you are not truly engaged. He can tell that, I assure you. Identify the walls. What has built up between you and the idea of enjoying intimacy? Find the root cause and address it immediately. Make a choice. A thriving marriage isn't one where only one partner is happy. Both people should feel desired, valued, and emotionally connected. Drop a love emoji in the comments if you believe intimacy is a vital part of marriage. So here are my final thoughts. Keep the fire burning. At the end of the day, sex isn't just physical. It's an emotional connection. It's a bond. It is also a reflection of the health of your relationship. Imagine having a relationship that's sickly. If your relationship were to be a human, would you love to see your relationship that sick? If your husband is a good man, a man who loves you, provides for you, and commits to your marriage, he feels the pain of rejection. The earlier you knew that, the better. A lack of intimacy is never just about sex. It's about feeling wanted. It's about feeling valued. It's about feeling deeply connected to your spouse. Ladies, gentlemen, the real question is, are you willing to break the cycle and make your marriage thrive? You might want to comment below and let's talk about it. This is for the men and this is for the women. We just want to make the marriage as a unit thrive. And we need your contribution on this. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.